Hey, good morning, you beautiful human beings, guys. Welcome to Pounds for Breakfast, the first show of the week. We're going to have some fun, look at the markets, look at the news, look at everything else that we need to know, and so much more. Dive into some trade opportunities. So I trust you guys can hear me. I trust you guys can see me. Just drop in the comments. Everything is good and the quality is all clear. All right, guys. So we're going to start off. We're going to jump straight into the news this morning. We're going to dive through some of the basics in terms of some of the things that we always do. And I'm going to speak about some trade opportunities. How are we going to be changing it up from a signals perspective as well as the academy? So let's jump in. And the whole world right now is speaking about this debt ceiling issue, right? We've seen this time and time again. And I honestly don't think this is something we really need to be concerned about. This is what politicians argue about from the left to the right about, printing more money. And, the reality is in this fiat currency world where pretty much governments just print money to solve problems, the debt ceiling is always going to need to be raised, right? There's always going to be more debt than there is available to pay. So again, ignore some of these articles. They talk about, the debt ceiling looming, and if they don't deliver, by X date, which is the 1st of June, the whole economy can collapse. Guys, US is too big to fail at this point. It'll take a lot more than just a pure debt ceiling perspective. Now, looking a little bit later into the day in terms of some of the fundamentals, we have a fairly quiet day, right? Nothing massive that is going to be popping up, nothing big that's going to be surprising us. And that is obviously just how Mondays roll, right? We don't see all too much activity. And that allows us to just get a little bit more into just pure price action in terms of how things are going to be flowing. So without further ado, let's jump into the price action and what we're going to be looking at. And I think we have a pretty straightforward day. A few things I want to start off with, and we're going to start off with gold this morning. We're going to be spending a lot more time on commodities as we get into things. Now, I'm using a little bit of a newer trade setup, and I'm going to be paying attention to a couple things in my trading strategy, right? I've taught you guys, how we utilize, more advanced trading indicators like trend lines that give a little bit of a bigger strength and indicator in terms of movements. And we're going to be paying a little bit more attention to gold. I think it's more widely accessible. Margins are fairly small. And again, it's going to depend on who you guys are using. Now, currently, Hot Forex offers up to 2,000 leverage, right? So if you want to be able to open up positions with smaller margin requirements, that's definitely going to be a benefit through to you. So let's just talk about where gold is and just a few interesting things. Obviously, we had some big data last week. The 19th, pretty much just pumping and sending gold through the roof, as you can see here behind me. But we are in a pretty unique position where gold is right now, where we've been in this little bit of a consolidation phase. We've broken through that previous consolidation, and we're busy at that retest stage right now. I'm very, very interested to see as the UK markets open up this morning, do we get through VWAP? And VWAP is sitting just north of our current position, that $1,977 per ounce of gold. And if we fail to get through that VWAP and through that retest or that major resistance level I've marked off in pink there, then I'm going to definitely be interested in some sort of short position over there. If I see we fail that position, I will be issuing out that signal, the perimeters, stop loss, as well as different TPs. And I do suspect we will be able to get closer to a lower low, that 1971 range, but it'd be great to start to see if we can create a new trend that will end up a little bit closer in the direction. I'm just going to quickly draw out this parallel over here. It would be great if we could start to see a new trend and get closer to that $90 or $1,969. So that's ideally where our TP2 is going to be, with a deeper TP3 in case we start to see a breakthrough in trend further and further down. Again, there is this massive imbalance we've seen here in the rockets on the 19th. So I do believe that this imbalance is going to essentially be, what goes up must come down. I do believe there's going to be a little bit of a rebalancing, or at least a retracement on that bigger rebalance. And what we're going to do here is we're simply going to look at some of the fib levels in terms of, can we get down closer to something more realistic from a retracement perspective. So I'll be very interested to see, can we at least make a 61.8 in terms of recovery down to that 61.8, which will read the 1,967 to an ounce of gold, or maybe even something deeper on that 78.6. A deeper 78.6 reading is definitely going to give us a deeper opportunity to start looking at something closer in lines of trend, right? And I wouldn't be surprised on gold if we start to maybe realize a 78.6 pullback closer. That would get us in line with some sort of raising market structure here. Now, again, from a gold perspective, just taking a zoom click out here, again, we are on this massive bear territory, right? So we can't forget the fact that gold is still hugely bearish, right? And we are still massively within trend. So a pullback down to this level, I think, is almost going to be necessary. But what would be interesting specifically for this next season that we're in on gold, and considering where we are here at these lower lows, I just want to confirm quickly, if I add in here, I just want to quickly add in a, let's see here, let's just quickly get in here. I want to get in a RSI. I just want to double check on the RSI. Okay. I was just wanting to double check on the RSI with these lower lows. If we were getting any sort of sign that, you know, we were seeing a lot more buy activity on that, we're not getting at the RSI is corresponding. We're not seeing any divergence there to pretty much give away any other market moves there. But this would be what I'm going to be watching out for this morning, right? Just zooming in again, we are making that push through that little bit of resistance level. So I do believe we are going to have a keen eye on, do we see that rejection right around this level, 1978, 19, I'd say in that sort of level. Based on some of the strategies I'm going to be using, and specifically looking at this UK session, we're starting to go through that VWAP, right? We are starting to push through that 1977 mark. I wouldn't be all too bullish at this moment because I do know we might just be doing a retest or push into the zone. But I would be looking for a nice pullback here. If I saw a nice pullback here, something like a shooting star showing us that there's a little bit of rejection at this level, I would definitely be keen to start looking for a little bit of a sell-off there. But if we don't, then we're going to have to start looking at the bigger picture, and we may have to wait for a rejection on closer on a 30-minute time frame that would start to give us that bigger market structure, which will start to essentially only be a rejection around 1980. 1980 for me would be the biggest sell-off if we don't sell off in this particular area. So I am still bearish on gold. I am still bearish on gold as a commodity. It would be nice to get in now, but if we don't get in now, I've got no issues getting in close to the 1980 should we start to see a little bit of a market slowdown that would give us a pullback down to a realistic level that's 61.8. 78.6. So we are starting to see a little bit of a cool down on that 15-minute. Let's just quickly give it a look once again. We are sort of seeing a little bit of a cool down there, but we're going to keep monitoring the situation to see if we can get any sort of pullback. For those of you who are on the FX side, I've noticed something pretty interesting on USD CHF, and that is the following, right? So USD CHF, pretty much long-term bear trend that we've been sitting in pretty much January, February, March, early March. We started to make that breakout. We started to do the classic sort of rebuild or re-momentum back up towards the top side. However, as we pull back, and just before this morning's analysis, I was looking at where we ended off on Friday, and that was pretty much in that area. Now we've got this pretty big area of support / resistance, a demand area, if you will. And I'm simply looking at, does USD CHF hold up above this zone, which it seems we were struggling to, but I think this is going to be a key area for USD CHF to monitor. And again, should we fail to keep anything above this level, and the current level that I'm reading here is 0.89946. So one United States dollar buying 89 cents, 94 pips on the Swiss franc. So if we fail to get above this area, we might start to look at some short opportunities here as this just starts to consolidate. There might not be enough momentum here on the dollar to make some of those extended gains on the Swiss franc. So just something to keep our eyes on. Now moving on to US 30, because I know this is pretty much where a lot of people have a ton of focus. US 30 is proving to have quite an interesting market structure this morning, in the sense that we've had and been in, specifically on a 15-minute time frame, we've been in this nice bull territory, right? Nice big gains, decent pullbacks. These are all fib pullbacks, so nice decent Fibonacci pullbacks. However, where we are now, we failed at that pullback. We're currently sitting under VWAP, and we are obviously looking at, are we going to fail to get above this territory in this session, or at least in this UK session? Now, again, being Monday, as you guys know, things can start slow. We don't have all the volume in the world as we look at Monday mornings. We generally start to see, specifically if it was a traumatic Friday or Thursday, Friday had a lot of volume, we will generally see quite a bit of consolidation, right? So that's why I'm quite curious on gold. Do we start to, make, some of those further lows to make up for that 19th bull rally? And that's where most of the tension is going to be. However, on US City, otherwise known as Dow Jones, I'm primarily looking at this area here. Now, should we start to make a new low, I'm very happy to chase a short on US City if we are unable to break anything further than that high, right? So that's going to be my pivotal level. If we're able to break that 33,412, so $33,000, 412 is where I'd start to look for some shorts. But at the same time, if we're able to make some gains, any pushes above that 33, let's say 33,500 safely, right? So 33,500, that is going to be my indication for a long. Now, again, right, if you have a live account and it is funded, you definitely want to go down below. If you're not in the Telegram group, go down below, get in the Telegram group. You've got a live account and it is funded with either Hot Forex or Trade 245. I have a DVDM Markets premium group, which is where I generate and send these trade opportunities as I take them. So if I send something, it's going to be because I'm taking it. I'm not sending something, it's because I haven't taken it, right? So you definitely want to be in there. I'm organizing an amazing team so that as we see something, as we confirm an opportunity, whether it be on Forex, whether it be on crypto, whether it be on indices, whether it be on commodities, we will be sending and generating those trades. And we're going to do that as safely as humanly possible, right? So I may wait multiple confirmations, but I'll only be sending items that I will be taking myself. So the account's funded. Obviously drop your link, the Telegram group down below. You can inbox me with your MT4, MT5 details, and I will get you sorted out so that you are in that group over there. So pretty much looking for on Monday where we're going to be heading over there. Again, gold having a nice little pullback there. I'm liking that pullback, right? Again, we're starting to see that little bit of a shooting star there, a nice fat pin bar there. And I think this would be a good place for us to look for a short on gold. Again, we're staying in market structure. We've gone up to make that retest. So I would be entering in here and looking for a short on gold. 1975 is where I want to be. So let's look at a 1975 entry and let's have a look at TP, looking at 1973 as TP1, and let's have a look at a 1970 as a TP2. So 1975 plus minus entry, 1973 flat TP1, 1971 as our stop loss, as our TP2. Stop loss, we're going to be looking at a 1978. Okay, risk reward here is going to be a little bit fat. We're sitting with about 37 pips as a stop loss. 1973 is only going to give us about 15 pips, right? Which our risk reward there is going to be a little bit slim. However, if we get to the 1970 flat, we are going to be sitting with that 40 pips. That is where we want to be. So I would be looking at that short. That is where I would want to be there, and I will go ahead and jump in and enter on that. Let's just have a look if I'm already in that trade on my other accounts. Let's just have a look here. Okay, there we go. So I've already got my sell over there on that account. Let's just quickly set that up. Stop loss is going to be there. And again, I'm going to have my TP. I'm just going to go straight down to the 1970 dead flats. There we go. So that trade is put in there. We're getting a nice little rejection there. So let's see how this one flows. I will enter in some additional trades in a little bit as we go along. So let me just switch over accounts for my analysis. There we go. And again, guys, there's a huge benefit to having multiple accounts. Again, spread your risk. Again, you want that massive leverage side, then definitely Hot Forex is where you want to be. I have been told that there is some issues when it comes to, I believe, Capitec. and trade 245. So if you are having those issues, please just shout and let us know. Otherwise, report that directly through to Matthew. If you can, please do send screenshots and accompany them with screenshots. Another thing I do want to talk about before I get to US 100 is I do want to be talking about USD ZAR right now. Okay, USD ZAR, a great market structure. If you're looking at this last move that we are looking at from pretty much the 4th of May, USD ZAR has had this really strong bull structure. We're really struggling to make higher highs. We are making higher highs, but looking at where we're currently sitting, we're sitting at these multiple rejection levels, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the top side. Got a good area of support here. I just want us to pay attention to this zone right here, right? The zone that we're sitting on USD ZAR. This is going to be something we need to monitor if USD ZAR is going to maintain market structure. So what am I saying here, right? If we break zone, am I saying break zone? Okay, great. We're selling USD ZAR? No, right? What I'm saying is if we break this zone, we need to wait for that retest, right? The also critical retest to make sure that we break, we retest. That might be a nice trigger to start looking for some short opportunities on ZAR. I'm looking at ZAR on a 1 hour time frame. I'm not looking at anything smaller. Again, there's just too much volatility sitting on USD ZAR at that point in time. However, this may be an opportunity to get in for a good buy, right? You may want to consider having a look at a little bit of buy here. The only issue I have with a buy right now is that to cover a decent stop loss, right, we would need to have a stop loss that is at least around or below this previous support, right? This previous proper support. And that means our risk reward ratio here is almost 1-to-1, right? Actually less. To get to that new high, we're essentially looking at around about, let's see, 130 pips to the downside, 1923.74 pips. And we would be looking at a 1951 and 9 pips, right? So it's 1-to-1. I don't really like 1-to-1 trades. I like something that's a little bit more in our favor. So for this one, I'd pretty much be monitoring, if we're able to maintain volume here, I will look for a buy opportunity, and I will obviously send and publish that in the group as we see it fit. Now, again, what we want to do a little bit differently when it comes to DVDM markets, guys, is we want to build that community-based approach, right? So in the sense that you can send your trade opportunities. Again, if you're part of the premium group, we are building an amazing Discord channel. We have some amazing people in the community that are helping out with that. But essentially what we're able to do is, specifically in Telegram, is once you're in the premium group, if you see something, you're allowed to post it, and we will obviously speak about it. We will debate it, and I'll pick certain trades to come and feature on the shows, right? On the live broadcast. So we can break it down together. We can understand, is this a trade that we do want to take? Is this a trade we want to explore further, right? So you don't have to sit and do the guesswork by yourself. You can obviously put that out there, and there may be something you did see, something you didn't see, or maybe there's something you're seeing we didn't see at all whatsoever. So please feel free to obviously utilize those facilities to post. Just a quick shout out to everybody in our community. I can see Ismail's here with us. I can see Alvin C4 is with us. I can see Mtsumi Baloy is with us. Lana, I can see Joseph, I can see Gilbert, Godwin, and the beautiful Miss Marsha Bart, as well as Brandon Nell right up top over there. Okay, beautiful. So we are starting to see USD ZAR pull a little bit back. This may be a good sign for a little bit of a play on a USD ZAR long. So this is going to be up to you. A lot of people love USD ZAR, a lot of people hate USD ZAR. That is really going to be up to you. We're seeing a nice little bit of a pullback there off of that gold move there. Gold coming back into structure. I'm now hopeful we could start to see that push again. First TP is going to be sitting about that 173 flat, 172 flat mark, and then a deeper TP at that 1970 mark over there. We may see gold play around into that VWAP zone, right? VWAP is currently sitting at that 1977. Very well may make a secondary push, so don't get scared. Remember, we want to have a stop loss at that 1978 mark, right? It is a bit of a longer stop loss, but again, if you're going to place a stop loss, do it in the right place. Place it where it needs to be, not where you want it to be. Okay, so for this morning session, being Monday, we are going to see things being a little bit slower. We're going to continue to monitor what is happening around the world, as well as where we are seeing opportunities. I'm hopeful that we could see a regain on this USD CAD situation or USD CAD setup back to that 90 cents mark. Should we see a recovery back into 90 cents, I am hopeful that we could start to see a long on USD CHF. Sorry, I think I said USD CAD. Now, in terms of moving forward, how are we going to be dealing with shows? How are we going to be dealing with markets, right? So let me just jump into that and let's just address that really quickly. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we are going to be doing a broadcast every morning. I'm going to start to look at the timing of the UK Open, as well as where we see overlaps, to see when is the best time to get the most amount of volume. However, trade opportunities will not be limited to when we have shows. We're putting a lot of effort into our signal service, meaning throughout the day, whether it be at 4 a.m., whether it be at 9 p.m., we're going to be generating trade opportunities. As I see a trade, we're going to be generating those opportunities. I am exploring the opportunity of, as I see something coming to fruition, doing a quick video in, phone style format, meaning 1080p reverse, something easier to look at on your phone, where I'll simply set up the stop loss TP, explain why the trade is happening. That gives you a little bit more context as to what's going on, instead of just seeing buy now, stop loss here, TP there, whatever the case may be. So I am investigating how quick it would be to generate that kind of content as I take a position, and then obviously how I get that through to you guys. So trade opportunities will be generated throughout the day. You will receive them. We're ramping up that activity this week, so you will start to see the full effect of what that's going to be towards the end of the week. It'll be in full effect. However, pounds for breakfast will continue to happen every day. We're going to start to schedule pounds for breakfast the closest to the most volatility we can see in the mornings. And then again, dollars for lunch is going to be on US Open, right? So again, we want to take dollars for lunch in the afternoons. We are going to try and catch the most amount of volatility to trade indices and try and see where is that big volume that we're going to be seeing every single day. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to be sending through a schedule for every week, right? So I'm going to look at the news, I'm looking at all the impact events. We will be scheduling that. The team will be building a calendar into the website, and this means you can simply go onto the show, download the calendar link, and it'll be pasted into your calendar. So you'll get a reminder, you'll have the link that'll be available to you, and this is going to be a premium plus feature. So again, if you want to get the signals, if you want to get the trade calendar, that you always have the links, and you want to get access to all the shows, that is going to be a premium plus feature. Now, to get that for free, all you need to do is in the Telegram group, either open up your Trade 245 or Hot Forex account, simply register, fund it, send that through to us to get access to the Premium Plus group. It is absolutely free to be a part of, provided we're trading in the same community, provided we're trading in a safe environment. In addition to that, the new DVDM Market Academy is launching soon. However, I will be giving access to our current DVDM Markets Academy, our previous academy that has so much information to cover. If you want to understand price action, risk management, and so much more about the markets, that's going to be available to you with our refreshed version coming out over the next week. We want to have that out before the 1st of June. That'll be the 2023 version. Our 2022 version is out and available, and I will be providing access for you guys, for those of you that want to learn. So if you're in Premium Plus, I'll be giving you that academy for free. You can go in, jump in, start learning. You understand price action, you want to understand Fibonacci, you want to understand risk, supply and demand zones, so much more that is going to be available to you already. So this afternoon, I will be scheduling dollars for lunch. We will have a ton of opportunities on the US market open, and I will be generating some trade opportunities as markets start to push, as we start to see what direction markets want to take. Again, being Monday, things can take some time to deliver. So we are going to be monitoring that. Having a look quickly at USD ZAR, as we flick back here, I would be very, very keen to see if we can get a break of structure on USD ZAR, right? Again, we're getting a little bit of a break there. We're getting a little bit of a slowdown on that dollar's domination on the South African Rand. I would be keen though to see if we get a break and retest. So again, if we break this current, pretty much sitting right now 1935, I'm not too stressed about that for the time being, because again, My risk reward ratio at this moment in time is not big enough to take the risk. However, should we break and make a retest, that is the point at which I'm going to get pretty excited and look for a bigger market opportunity. Switching over to 4 hours, the reason why, this is of such importance, right? I just want to show you guys this is, should we start to look for an opportunity here? Let's switch over there and let's just go over onto the 4-hour time frame. I just want to show you guys something pretty cool here. Is let's just see here. Okay, it's 15 minutes, so just bear with me. Okay, let's just utilize something like let's just utilize something like a 0.01, which is absolutely tiny. And let's just look at riding down the market back to the 18 Rand 10 cents mark, right? Okay, so we're talking about a 0.01, right? Riding down to the 10 cents mark. And we are then looking at about $80 on that ride down, right? On a 0.01. So you can imagine on a 0.10, you're looking at $800. On a standard lot, you're looking at $8,000. So 150,000 Rand move here on a standard lot on the way down. Should we start to break some of these market structures and get USD back to some area that is remotely significant for this particular move. So that's something I'm definitely excited on looking out for, and definitely something we're going to continue to monitor. Outside of that, guys, it's pretty much gold. We want to obviously see a decent pullback. Depending where you've entered here, you should already be in profit, but I would like to see that push to the 1973 flat mark, and then again a deeper TP on the 1970 mark. So make that 1970. You may want to close a portion of your trade and allow for a deeper run in case we get that little bit of a reversal to make up for that market gap that we saw over there, right? 61.8 will represent 1967, so $1,967 to an ounce. That deeper 78.6 is where I do believe we will be from a market structure perspective, and that is a good 109, 110 pips from our current position. That is definitely where I'm looking and where I would like to see us being over the next couple of hours. Over and above that, I will monitor markets. If I see anything on US30 from a break perspective, I will let you guys know. But at this moment, it still looks like we are in a consolidatory phase. So nothing all too serious that we need to be monitoring over there. For the rest of it, in terms of the rest of the world, there's not anything I'm seeing that is majorly important that we're going to end up seeing shock the world. Most of the world right now is speaking about that debt ceiling. Most of the world is still speaking about Fed Powell's speech announcement that was obviously discussed last week. Other than that, we still got to look, banking crisis still looms, a few other issues still loom, some geopolitical issues still loom. But other than that, I think it's going to be business as usual, and price action will remain king for the balance of today. Doesn't mean we can't expect anything crazy. You guys know that is never off the cards, right? So we can always expect. But outside of that, guys, I will be seeing you guys all a little bit later for Dollars for Lunch. I will communicate the time of that. Look out for the signals. Just drop me an inbox with your MT4, MT5 account, provided it is a Globex3, not a Globex 360. I got to forget that name. I got to remove that name from my memory. Provided it's a Trade 245 or HFM account, and I will put you guys into that Premium Plus group where you will be getting signals, education, and so much more. We'll be posting a link for Dollars for Lunch. And yeah, we will be doing some other crazy things. Fabian's asking, do we have to keep our membership active on the YouTube channel? So Fabian, Marsha's actually planning something pretty exciting for the YouTube channel, and we want to start to include a little bit else, different things about the DVDM markets channel, right? We want to keep, the main channel about trading, but we want to keep the behind the scenes things about our lives and, what trading has done for us, and, the different things we're able to do because of what trading's done for us, right? We want to keep that out of the public domain, and I want to keep that as part of the people who are members on the YouTube channel. So a little bit about what does our day involve, what do we do in the mornings, how does our day look like, how do we live around trading. And that's going to be some of the behind the scenes exclusive stuff that's going to be happening on the subscribed or the premium side on the YouTube side. So if you're already subscribed, you're welcome to keep that subscription. But if you want to cancel it and resubscribe at a later stage, you're more than welcome to do that. But we are planning some really, really exciting content to just take you behind the scenes of our lives, what happens when the cameras go off, right? So I don't know if that answers the question. I hope it does. Yes, so outside of that, guys, I will be seeing you guys all for dollars for lunch. I will be posting the link this afternoon, and we are going to get some real sweaty trades in this afternoon. I do expect Monday this afternoon we are going to see some bigger moves and bigger momentum in the market. So outside of that, we're pretty much going to be monitoring where we're at. I would keep an eye on USD ZAR, I'd keep an eye on gold, and I would keep an eye on USD CHF. Those are going to probably be the ones that are going to pop off and give us an opportunity to get into today. So at the end of every day, we will be posting a summary of our trade opportunities, where we took profits, where we took losses. I'm going to keep responsible and transparent on every trade that we issue. So you can expect that from us as well. Outside of that, guys, listen, as always, much love. I will see you guys all a little bit later. And until then, have yourselves an amazing afternoon. And